Welcome back to QuietKat series on maintenance. In this video, we're going to talk about replacing the derailleur hanger. The derailleur hanger is a soft aluminum hanger piece that connects the derailleur to the frame. It's going to have different shapes based on the different bike. So the hanger, being a soft piece of aluminum, is designed to break or bend in the event of a crash or an impact on the derailleur. If you didn't have the hanger, the same impact could break the frame, which would render the entire bike useless. Therefore, we use the soft aluminum hanger. So if you've broken this, don't panic. It's a very easy and cheap replacement part. So for this example, obviously our hanger's not broken. So we're going to assume that your hanger is broken and we need to remove the part of the old one and replace it with the new part. First thing we're going to do is remove the rear wheel. So as always, we need to start by shifting all the way down to the hardest gear or the smallest cog. So the next step, we're going to remove the rear wheel. Using our 15mm wrench, go ahead and loosen the bolts on either side. Pull the derailleur out of the way, drop the wheel, and we'll go ahead and set this aside. With the rear wheel out of the way, now we can go ahead and remove the derailleur from the hanger itself. Use your 5mm Allen wrench, and we're going to head on in here, very carefully remove the derailleur from the hanger. Now, if the derailleur hanger is broken, this part might be flopping and hanging, so you may need to grab a set of pliers or some sort of support to hold the hanger as you unscrew the derailleur from the hanger bracket. Again, your hanger may be broken, so you may only have this top section attached to the frame, but the next step will be to remove what's left of the hanger from the frame. This also uses the 5mm Allen key. You're going to have a male bolt as well as a female bolt, so make sure that you pull all the pieces out. So if your derailleur hanger is already broken, you may only have just the top half of the bracket attached to the frame. We're going to go ahead and use our 5mm wrench and remove what's left of the hanger bracket. In some cases, the bolt actually has a male part and a female part, so you want to make sure you get all three pieces out of the frame. So at this point, we want to go through and inspect to make sure that everything here is clean, free of debris, free of grease, and make sure that everything is straight and there's not any additional damage that we didn't see before. Once we're confident that this is ready to go, we're ready to put our new hanger in place. In this case, on the ambush, it uses a 3-piece, so we're going to go ahead and put the female in from behind so we have our threads. We're going to line up our hanger with the grooves, and then go ahead and tighten down the 5mm bolt. When you tighten this, it should be fairly tight to keep it in place, but not so tight that you start damaging the bracket itself. Once we have the bracket in place, we'll go ahead and bring the derailleur back up. Make sure that you keep the B limit on the outside of the little ledge. Therefore, the tension of the derailleur is being pulled back properly. If this part is not on top, then the derailleur will not function properly and it will not shift. Once you get it lined up, very carefully thread it into the hanger. The soft aluminum hanger can misthread or cross thread very easily, so be sure to pay attention and make sure it's going in smoothly. It should be very easy to thread the derailleur onto the hanger. If you're having to push a lot of tension, stop, back up, and try again. The derailleur should be just tight enough to stay in place, but not so tight as to warp the bracket. So now that we have our derailleur mounted back on the frame properly, we can go ahead and replace the rear wheel and test to make sure everything is aligned. So now that we've got the rear wheel back in the bike, first we're going to look and see if everything is aligned. If you've watched our video on aligning your derailleur limits and resetting the indexing of your shifter, you'll understand how to line the top pulley wheel with the cogs of the cassette. Looks like everything is straight from here. Let's go ahead and test and ensure that it shifts all the way through the gears. So we're going to go ahead and turn the cranks, shift through the gears, and ensure that everything is functioning properly. Everything's shifting smoothly. It's all lined up. We're ready to get back on the trail.